Now, the greatest radio shows of all time.
Suspense.
The Shadow Node.
Washington calling David Harding, counter-spy.
Classic radio theater.
The Great Gildersleeve. Fibber McGee and Molly.
Dragnet. Gunsmoke.
The Lone Ranger.
Now, step back into our time machine with your host, Wyatt Cox.
Good evening, friends of the Inner Sanctum.
This hour, a mystery program, Murder at Midnight. This edition of the program, entitled The Man Who Was Death, was originally broadcast March 14th, 1947.
Murder at Midnight.
This is the place for it. Deep down under the city, under the earth. The concrete cold and damp as the stone of a mausoleum. The question is, which one of them shall it be? You, sir? You with the gray hair and the briefcase. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Death.
Midnight. The witching hour when the night is darkest, our fears the strongest, and our strength at its lowest ebb. Midnight, when the graves gape open and death strikes. How? You'll learn the answer in just a minute in The Man Who Was Death. And now, Murder at Midnight. Tales of mystery and terror by masters of the macabre. Our story by Robert Newman is The Man Who Was Death. It's late afternoon in the studio of Jan Rolfe, the sculptor. The rays of the setting sun come through the smoke-filmed glass of the skylight at an angle, casting long, dark shadows on the dusty floor. His face intense, Rolfe stands before a more than life-size head of gray granite, cutting away some of the hard stone, then pausing to examine his work.
It's still not right. I still haven't got it. And I don't know where I've gone wrong. The eyes, they would be brooding and half-closed. But shouldn't they be all-seeing? Let's try it. Who's that? Who's there?
It's Aline, Mr. Rolfe. Aline Moffat.
Aline? Oh, yes. Just a second. What is it, Aline?
I told you I wouldn't be able to get here until late, Mr. Rolfe, that I was going to be modeling for Clayton in the early afternoon, but you said it didn't matter.
Oh, yes, I forgot.
If you don't need me, don't feel like working.
No, it's all right. Maybe it would help if I worked on something else for a change. Come on in.
Something else? Oh, that head.
Is that the first time you've seen it?
Yes. You always kept it covered up before. It looks very powerful.
Powerful, eh? Go on over to it, closer. Tell me who you think it is.
All right. It's a man. Pretty big man.
Man. I knew it wasn't right. But if that's all you get out of it... Where's that mallet?
Mr. Rolfe, what are you going to do?
This, I'm going to smash it! Almost 6 months' work, but... There! You know what that was supposed to be? Death! I'm going to do something no artist has ever done before. Show mankind the face of death.
Mr. Rolfe, I don't think I feel like modeling this afternoon.
You're frightened. Why?
I don't know. The whole idea of...
You too. What I wanted to show was the beauty, the peace that lies in death. Death's strength and inevitability and... Wait a minute.
I'll phone you tomorrow, Mr. Rolfe.
I said wait. It's beginning to come to me. What was wrong? To do a study, portray something, you've got to understand it, inside and out. You've got to know how your subject thinks, feels, project yourself into it. To do a study of death, I've got to know all those things about him. I've got to become death. And that means...
Mr. Rolfe, no, you can't.
But I can, Aline, I must. How can I understand death, become death, if I don't kill?
Miss Craig?
Yes, Nancy Craig.
I'm Jordan, Harold Jordan of Homicide. I imagine you know why I asked you to come down here to the morgue.
Well, they said it had something to do with my roommate, Aline Moffat. Is she...
If you think you can take it, we'd like you to make the identification.
I think I can.
Ah, good girl. She's right here under the sheet. Ready?
Yes. Oh, Aline. How did it happen?
And I'll cover her up. Well, we traced the laundry mark. We're pretty sure we knew who she was.
How did it happen?
She was found in the river. But she was dead before she went in, strangled.
Murdered? Oh, but why? By whom?
We don't know. We thought you might help us with that, too. Tell us what you know about her.
There's not much to tell. She was a wonderful girl. Came from out of town, out west somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't know it from the way she looks now, but she was beautiful. She used to do modeling.
Any boyfriends?
Oh, no one in particular. She went out with a lot of different men. Everyone liked her. That's why I can't understand.
Who did she model for?
A few photographers, but mostly painters and sculptors. Let me see, there was Jensen, Clayton, Rolfe. As a matter of fact, I think she was posing for both Clayton and Rolfe. And
Better this time, much better. Things I can put into it that I never knew, never felt before. Now, let's see. No! Still not right. Still something missing in... Not just a shade of expression, but something basic, one of the keys to the whole concept. But what? Haven't I played Death's role, killed just as he does? Haven't I... Wait, that's it. Of course. Is that how Death strikes? Without thought, on the spur of the moment? No. He picks and chooses. Decides just who shall die and who shall not. What's missing is the consciousness of power. The knowledge that there is no appeal from death. That he is the supreme authority. And that means that... Yes, I must kill again. And this time... Who's that?
Police department. Can we come in and talk to you for a minute?
Why, yes, of course. Just a second. Police. They don't know anything. They can't know. But I'd better cover this up.
Mr. Rolfe?
Yes.
I'm Jordan of Homicide. This is Nancy Craig. Sorry to bother you at this time of night.
No bother at all. Please come in.
Thank you.
I'm investigating the murder of Miss Craig's roommate, Aline Moffat.
Murder?
You didn't know?
Why, no. I never read the papers. And the last time I saw her, 2 or 3 days ago...
Well, it happened just 2 days ago. Now, we've been checking back. We have an idea that you may have been one of the last people to see her alive.
If there's anything I can do to help, anything at all...
Could you tell us what happened when you did see her last?
Of course. She was due here at 3 o'clock, but actually came at about 5.
Mm-hmm.
She said another artist had delayed her.
Clayton, that's right.
I had already started working on something else, and since she looked so tired, I suggested we call the whole thing off. She seemed pretty happy about it. Left, and I'm afraid that's all I know.
Was there anyone else here? Anyone that actually saw her leave?
I'm afraid not. You see, I'm the only tenant in the building who lives here, and I'm afraid everyone else had gone by then.
Well, that sounds pretty straight to me. I guess that's that. Thanks very much, Mr. Rolfe.
Not at all. Afraid I haven't been much help. But if you can think of anything I can do...
We'll keep in touch with you. And in the meantime, well, maybe you should start reading the papers just every once in a while, huh?
Right. I hope you read them too, my friend. Especially tomorrow's papers. Because I have a feeling that there just might be something in them that will interest you. Night. And a fine small rain. Yes, this is how he would move. Walking slowly through the darkness. Searching. Weighing. Selecting his victim.
I beg your pardon,
What?
sir. But could you tell me if that's the Uptown subway over there?
Why, yes. I believe it is.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Not at all. Subway. What better place to make my choice than there? Deep under the earth. The concrete cold and damp as the stone of a mausoleum. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. Yes, this is it. This is the place. The tunnel dark as a yawning grave. The platform edge like the verge of infinity. And this is how he must feel. Studying. Selecting. Which one of you shall it be? You, madam, with the worn coat and bedraggled hat. Why are you looking at me like that? Do you know what's in my mind? Don't be afraid. It won't be you. You, young man, with the books and the glasses? No. Then what about... Yes. Down there at the end of the platform, my friend who suggested this. My prosperous-looking friend with the gray hair and the briefcase. Don't look up at the track so impatiently. A train is coming. But so am I. Good evening.
I beg your pardon, sir, but I'm afraid... Oh, I didn't recognize you at first. Why, you're the chap.
Directed you down here, yes. But I felt that you should know exactly who it was you spoke to. Allow me to introduce myself. I am dead.
What? What do you mean? What are you doing to me? Let go! Let go!
Quietly, the man who is death steps back from the edge of the platform as the train grinds to a stop. A woman screams. And somewhere in the distance, a clock strikes 12 for murder at midnight.
From March 14th, 1947, Murder at Midnight on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
Let's see, if something costs less, but people are happier with it, that sounds like something to look into, and that's MediShare. Maybe you've heard switching to MediShare to pay for healthcare can save the typical family $500 a month, and that's huge, but it's also true that people are way more satisfied after making the switch, too. The customer satisfaction rate for MediShare is double that of the typical health insurance plan. Double. MediShare works. It's been around for more than a quarter century, and members have shared more than $3 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network. So, yeah, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care. So if you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan you're happy with, you can call right now and get a price within 2 minutes. A very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need. 833-34-BIBLE. That's 833-34-BIBLE. 833-34-BIBLE.
Thanks for tuning in to Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Now more of Murder at Midnight, The Man Who Was Death, March 14th, 1947.
And now back to the story of The Man Who Was Death. It's late the next afternoon, and Jordan is alone in his bare cubbyhole in police headquarters when there is a knock on the door. Come.
Hello, Mr. Jordan.
Oh, hello, Nancy.
You don't seem very happy to see me.
I am and I'm not. It's a nice change to have someone as pretty as you come down here. On the other hand...
You haven't gotten anywhere with Aline's murder.
Nah, no motive, no clue, no nothing. I'm afraid we're licked.
But you can't be. You can't give up.
I'm sorry, Nancy. I don't like it either, but, well, it happens sometimes.
But you can't let it happen. Not in this case.
Hey, you're pretty well wound up, aren't you? How about letting me take you out, buy you dinner?
No. Oh, I am upset, yes, but...
What's the matter?
Well, maybe it's nerves. That trip down to the morgue, the whole atmosphere around the case, but... Would you think I was mad if I told you I felt that some horrible power was abroad? That Death himself was stalking through the city?
You and Mrs. Dolan.
Mrs. Dolan? Who's she?
Well, that accident in the subway last night, a guy who fell or jumped in front of a train. Didn't you read about it?
No.
Well, this Mrs. Dolan was one of the witnesses, and she swears that just before it happened, she went all goose pimples, felt as if death was breathing down the back of her neck, and that she was going to die.
It's true, Hal. I know it is. I mean, well, that's exactly how I felt. I can't remember just where or when, but sometime during these past few days, I felt that I was in the same room with Death myself.
Well, like you said, it's probably nerves. Strain you've been under. Just the same, it's kind of a funny coincidence. I think maybe I'll go see Mrs. Dolan, talk to her. Do you want to come?
I don't believe so, Hal. Somehow I feel we're awfully close to the answer. If I could just remember where and when it was I felt that way, that I was in Death's presence. I think I'll go home.
Okay, Nancy. I'll call you there after I talk to Mrs. Dolan, and, well, maybe we'll find that we really have something.
Just a little more off the cheekbones. Get the gaunt feeling of a skull under the flesh. No, it's still not right. Still something missing. But what is it this time? Didn't I stalk and select my victim? Didn't he recognize me for what I was? Death himself. And didn't... Wait. Of course. It's never just the victim alone who knows, fears, and fights against death. It's all of society, medicine, science, the police. All of man's resources from time immemorial lined up against death. And he still triumphs over them. That is the secret and the measure of his omnipotence. That is the last missing element. And that means that I must kill yet again. And this time, not just the victim, but the whole world must know it and be powerless to stop me. This time... Who's that? Who's there?
Nancy Craig, Mr. Rolfe. I don't know if you remember me.
Nancy? Oh, yes, just a second.
I'm awfully sorry to be bothering you again,
That's perfectly all right. Isn't Mr. Jordan with you?
No, I came alone. Well, there was a little experiment I wanted to try.
Oh, please come in.
Thank you.
Just what was this experiment?
Well, it was probably pretty silly, but I had to try it. Thinking back, I had a queer feeling that What's that?
That bust? Something I'm working on. Something I hope will be my masterpiece. Do you like it?
I'm afraid No. Oh, it's awful. It's terrible. It was here that I felt it. Here in the studio, and you...
Yes, Nancy. It was I who killed Aline Moffat. And also a gray-haired gentleman with a briefcase in the subway last night.
That piece in the paper, Mrs. Dolan.
Exactly. You see, that bust over there is a study of death. And to do a study, you must project yourself inside your subject. That meant I had to become death.
Oh,
Where you going?
out of here, you're mad.
No good, Nancy, no good. I locked the door when you came in.
Oh, but you can't. Oh, you can't. Help! Help me! Help!
No good either. We're 5 stories up, and all the other tenants have gone. You came here at a very opportune time for me. I had just decided I needed one final victim. And I'm afraid that's going to be you.
I'll never forget it, Mr. Jordan. It was pretty late, about 12 o'clock, and it was raining. There were only a couple of people on the subway platform, 3 or 4, and I was standing by myself, not thinking about anything in particular, when suddenly this feeling came over me.
What kind of a feeling?
Oh, a feeling that this was the end. A feeling that death was standing there, right close behind me. I got so weak and shaky that I thought I was going to faint. I shut my eyes and leaned against one of the posts, and that's how it was that I didn't actually see the accident.
Mm-hmm. Well, did you turn around when you had that funny feeling? Did you notice whether there actually was anyone standing behind you?
I did.
Well, we'll see what these people look like in just a few moments. March 14th, 1947, Murder at Midnight, The Man Who Was Death. I'm Wyatt Cox. You're listening to Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. The conclusion next on your favorite radio station.
Are you in bad pain? You know what I mean. Your knees hurt. Your shoulder hurts. Your elbow and back are constantly killing you. And I'm sure you've tried every pain pill or cream available at the drugstore. Am I right? Well, here's something you haven't tried. Pain Magic. Pain Magic is not available at any drugstore. The only place you can get it is by calling the special toll-free number I'm about to give you.
And to make things even better, call right now and find out about our buy one, get one free offer. We're so confident it'll work for you that we offer a free bottle with your purchase. No prescription required.
Call now to learn how you can get Pain Magic and get rid of your pain. Remember, your results may vary.
800-492-8164. 800-492-8164. 800-492-8164. That's 800-492-8164.
Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, the conclusion of Murder at Midnight from March 14th, 1947.
Well, did you turn around when you had that funny feeling? Did you notice whether there actually was anyone standing behind you?
I did. There was just a young fellow with glasses and another man, kind of strange looking, now that I think of it.
Strange? How?
He was about 35 or 40, pretty big. I guess it was his hair. He wasn't wearing any hat, and, well, it was almost white and very long and bushy.
What? Did he have a thin face, gaunt, and deep-set eyes?
Why, yes, I think he did have. Do you know him?
I'm not sure. If I do, then I may know a lot of other things, too. Good Lord. Nancy.
What?
I've got to get out of here.
Just a second, young fellow. Where do you think you're going?
In there. No one's going to... Hanrahan.
Oh, there you are, Jordan. Where the blazes have you been?
What do you mean? What's going on?
A devil of a business. A lunatic in the top floor studio there. He phoned headquarters, asked for you. Said that he had a girl there that he was going to murder. Said that he wanted us to know, even though there was nothing we could do to stop him. We thought it was a gag at first.
Well, what are you doing about it?
Everything that can be done. I've got men all around the building. Up on the roof across the street, outside his door.
Can't you break down the door?
Sure, and finish her off quick. He said that if we tried it, he'd bash her brains out with that big hammer that he's working with.
But there must be something, a Tommy gun from the roof across the street.
He's got her right in front of him, so that if you got him, you'd get her too. I tell you, there's nothing, absolutely nothing anyone can do.
You're wrong, Hanrahan. There's just one person, one thing that can stop him.
What's that?
Death.
Oh. You're getting impatient, my dear.
Oh, why are you doing this? You know you can't get away with it.
Get away with it. Do you think I care? That it matters to me whether I live or die when I finish this? I'll never be able to surpass this, but neither will anyone else. I know now how death must feel, and I've caught it forever, for all men to see in stone.
Yes, friend Rolf, you have. And you've made me very proud.
What? Who's that?
You don't know? Even though I've been on your mind for months now? Even though you're just finishing my portrait?
You? Where are you?
Where would I be? Everywhere. Outside in the hall. Down in the street. Here in the studio with you.
Can you be seen? I must see you. I must.
Very well. Walk this way. Over towards the door. A little further. Little further.
All right, here I am, Rolf. Maybe I don't look the way you thought I would.
Jordan.
Yes. Now drop that mallet and get your hands up.
It was you. And I thought...
Get him up, Rolf, I said. Okay, if that's the way you want it.
Help! Help!
It's okay, baby. It's all over now. Have you loose in a minute?
Jordan, are you all right?
Yes, break the door down if you want to come in. I'm busy.
So you got him. But how?
I talked to him through the vent pipe from up on the roof. I figured that if he was crazy enough to do all the things he did do, he might be crazy enough to believe death could pay him a visit. When I'd maneuvered him far enough away from Nancy here, I jumped through the skylight.
Hal, look.
Good Lord.
What is it?
That bust he was working on. He said it was a study of death. And in a way, I guess it is. Because it's a self-portrait.
Two men and a girl staring down at the body of the dead sculptor lying next to his weird masterpiece. But is it possible that there is still someone else in the studio? An unseen presence that has been there since the clock first struck 12 for murder at midnight. Remember to be with us again when death walks through the darkened streets while the clocks strike 12 for murder at midnight. The part of Jan Rolfe was played by Frank Behrens. With music by Charles Paul, Murder at Midnight was directed by Anton M. Leader.
From March 14th, 1947, Murder at Midnight on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
Are you suffering with arthritis or osteoporosis? Do you have diabetes? Did you know that these are just two of the hundreds of diseases that have seen improvement with Dr. Wallach's incredible longevity products? You can't get them at a health food store. The only way to get them is to call us at 800-214-0065. That's 800-214-0065. Do you have heart disease, fibromyalgia, or high blood pressure? Do you have a terrible time losing weight? Dr. Wallach can help. He was a veterinarian and cured diseases in animals. He felt that he could do the same for humans, so he became a physician. Over 50 years of research and helping people like you goes into every bottle of Dr. Wallach's amazing discoveries. Do you want to feel better? Learn how to treat the cause of your problem rather than covering up the symptoms with drugs. Call 800-214-0065. That's 800-214-0065.
Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, let's step back to March 14th, 1956 and take a trip to Wistful Vista, 79 Wistful Vista to be precise, and see what's going on in the household of Fibber McGee and Molly.
Miles Laboratories, makers of Alka-Seltzer, bring you another visit with Fibber McGee and Molly. Again, we invite you to listen to the transcribed adventures of Fibber McGee and Molly. The show is written by Phil Leslie and Ralph Goodman and directed by Max Hutto. If you had read in last night's paper that the new freeway the city is planning was going to swallow up your house, I'll bet you'd be upset too, like Mr. and Mrs. McGee. Here they are out early this morning trying to do the best they can to save the old homestead.
Oh, I just feel real blue about this thing, McGee. I don't know what...
Well, don't worry. If we can get enough names on this petition, we'll get the city to change the route. Again.
I hope so. You try this house here, and I'll go on across the street and ask them to sign.
Okay.
Oh, dear, if we have to move and they tear down our house, I don't know.
They try to tear down our house. I'll tear down that dad rat at City Hall. Although, I guess they can do it if they want to. You can't.
Yes?
Good morning, sir. I am here to...
Who is it, Harry? I'll take care of it. What can I do for you? If you're selling anything, I'm not interested.
No, sir. I'm not selling a thing.
Yeah? Well, what is it?
Why don't you put on your coat when you go to the door, Harry?
What for? It's nobody.
You probably read in the paper, Bud, about the new freeway the city's...
Who is it, Harry? What is it?
I don't know. Will you shut up a minute? Criminy. No. What's the pitch, Mac?
Well, first of all, do you vote? That's the only requirement to sign...
I thought you said you emptied the trash can.
I'm gonna.
When? Like the way you clean out the furnace? Promises, always promises.
Oh, go jump on a... Look, Mac, I got a lot of things to do, so speak your piece, will you?
Okay. I'm out trying to get names on this petition, and my wife's doing the same. We want to get the city to change their plans for the freeway and put it somewhere else. And the only way we can do it is to get enough voters behind us to make them guys listen to us. Not just a few, 500 or 600 names.
So
your house is on the route they got laid out, just like ours is. And if you don't want the city in here with bulldozers tearing down your home and throwing you out in the cold, sign here.
Are you kidding? Sign that protest. Louse up the best thing that's happened to me in 30 years?
What?
Harry! You left your muddy shoes in the kitchen again. Oh, wow.
You hear that voice? That's my wife, Sant.
Oh.
Came in to spend a weekend with us in 1943. Haven't been able to get rid of her since.
Yeah, but...
You think I'm going to spoil my big chance? I hope when they tear this house down, they haul her away with it.
Wonder how Molly's doing. I hope she's having better luck because if we don't get...
Your house here is right in line with the proposed freeway route, just like ours is, Mr. Propacop.
Krapopolis. That's a Greek name.
Yes. And if the city goes ahead on this route, we'll both be homeless. All I have to do is give you 30 days' notice according to the county statutes.
Oh, good gracious. I'm so glad you people are on the ball. Where's that petition? I'll sign.
Oh, good.
And my wife, Fifi, she'll sign too.
Fifi?
Hey, she's French. We met on a business trip in Paris.
Oh, my, that's very romantic. A business trip, huh?
Mallister, I was sitting inside of a restaurant out on the sidewalk, and Fifi, she gives me the business. You know, with the eyes like this. And the next thing you know, I'm just like the special blue plate on the menu. A cooked goose.
Well, now about this petition. You see, we need as many signatures as we can get. Anyone over 21 who's a registered voter.
Oh, I've got lots of relatives. All ages. 21, 62, 43, 87.
You have? Oh, good, because that's...
Sure, I got Uncle Stavros, Cousin Costa, Uncle Adamandios, Uncle Agathakis, and Sophia, Cousin Theophilus, and some with names even I can't pronounce.
Oh, that's wonderful. I'll leave a copy.
And sure, when the word gets back to Greece, how much money me and Fifi are making, everybody comes. 6 relatives we got living here with us now.
Well...
And tonight, big family reunion. 15, maybe 20 people. They all signed the petition. Everybody signed.
Oh, I'm just delighted. That's a big help.
Oh, sure. We all meet every week and study together for our citizenship papers. Now, this is good practice for us, for when they let us vote.
Huh?
So far, everybody say we're not allowed to sign petitions. But if you leave it, we'll sign it.
Oh, this is discouraging. Well, I'm sorry, sir. Thank you just the same. Oh, dear. Oh, am I glad to get home.
Yeah, what a day. And only 15 signers. 15 after walking our legs off.
I just don't know what we're going to do, dearie. We need 500 or 600 people to sign this petition if we expect the city council to even look at it.
Yeah, and the only signers we're going to be able to count on are just people whose houses are right in the way like ours.
That's right. And there's only about 20 or 30 houses involved. Oh, McGee, I can't stand to think about them tearing our house down.
Don't even say it, kiddo. Hand me that map again. You got the map out of the paper?
Right here. See the black line there is the route.
Sure. Now, let me see now. Now, it goes right through here, cuts across our property, and then... Hey, if there was some... Hey, wait a minute. Hey, look at this, Molly.
Tilt.
Huh?
Your eyes are lit up like a pinball machine. What is it?
Gee, I think I sure... Yeah, that's right.
That's right, McGee. What is it?
Run and answer the door, Tootsie. I'll see you later.
Oh, no. McGee,
I gotta make a phone call. I'll take the phone in the den.
But, McGee, wait. Oh, darn that doorbell. Come in. Hello, Dr. Gamble.
Hiya, Molly. How you kids making out with the freeway thing? If there's any way I can help...
I don't know, Doctor. I don't know how we're making out right at the moment. We didn't have any luck with our petition, I'll tell you that.
Oh, gee, then what are you going to do?
McGee's working on something right now. I don't know what, but I tell you, when he grabbed the phone just now and went in the den there, his eyes were just sparkling.
What's he going to do with the phone? Call President Eisenhower or something?
I don't know, but I'm dying to find out. McGee, Dr. Gamble is here. May we come in?
Oh, sure. Oh, hi, Doc.
Hi, Sonny. Molly says you've got a...
Hold it, Doc, hold it. The operator's putting my call through right now.
Who you calling, McGee? Who is it? What's the big deal?
Well, I took another look at the route on the map and... Shh! Hello, operator? Yes, I'm here. You got the state capitol? Okay.
State capitol?
Oh, I'm disappointed that he's only calling the governor. I thought he'd go right to Washington.
My party? Good. Put him on. Hello, Senator Jefferson? This is Fibber McGee from your hometown. McGee. Yeah, a voter.
Oh, McGee, just 'cause you voted for him...
Please, Molly. Look, Senator, I'd like to discuss the new freeway that the city has laid out across Wistful Vista here.
McGee, a senator doesn't have time.
I know you're a busy man, sir, but, well, they're planning to put that freeway right through my property and tear down my house, and I thought if you'd use your influence, how's that?
Oh, dear.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I realize that a few must suffer for the good of the multitude, sir, but if you haven't seen the map of this new route they're planning, you don't realize how unfair it is, Senator.
He's barking up the wrong senator if he wants to get
Yes, sir. I have a map right here, sir. Now, take just a minute. Now, I'll describe the route to you. It starts on the east side, skirts the edge of town, and then cuts across Wistful Vista Boulevard through my home.
Oh, this is a waste of time.
Then it heads straight out to Dugan's Lake. And this is the part I thought you'd be interested in, Senator. It follows the old lake road out there, wipes out your hunting lodge, your boathouse, and your summer home, and veers left through your mother's yacht basin. And how's that, Senator?
Heavenly days, I didn't notice that.
Neither did I. I looked at the map, but I...
Oh, you're going to leave for Wistful Vista immediately. What? Oh, straighten out the nincompoops who planned this route. Well, I knew you'd agree that it's very unfair, sir. And that's why I called you, because you senators are always saying that you like to keep in touch with the voters.
Oh, McGee, you're wonderful.
Yes,
McGee, the old-timer's here and wants to see you.
Oh, me? Oh, hi, old-timer. What's on your...
Hello there, Johnny. Hey, I hear you had the freeway moved again, son. Save the house I live in yesterday and then save your own house today, huh?
Yeah, the new route is clear out on the north side of town.
I heard all about it. That's why I'm here. Come on in, Miss Barry.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Oldtimer.
Mr. McGee, Miss McGee, this is Miss Barry, one of my customers.
Oh, how do you do, Miss Barry?
Miss Barry, heard how you've been shoving them politicians around, Johnny, and getting the freeway moved this away and that away.
And I wanted to speak to you, young man.
Thank you.
Because this time, they're going to run that freeway right through the middle of my house.
What? Oh, dear.
Oh, now, look, old-timer, gee whiz, I'm sorry, but I can't save every Tom, Dick, and Mrs. Berry whose house happens to be...
Oh, I don't want to be saved, young man. I just want to thank you.
Thank him?
Yes. The city's buying up all the houses on the route, and they've just offered me $20,000. I only paid $10,000.
What?
Same thing with all my neighbors. The city's real anxious to get the freeway started, and they're paying us all twice as much as our houses. Is something wrong, Mr. McGee?
Twice? You mean for this house I could have got the... Oh...
Hey, you look sick, Johnny.
Oh.
Sit down, son.
No, I'll live. So long, everybody.
See you tomorrow. Bye.
Bill Thompson played the Greek gentleman as well as the old-timer, and Arthur Q. Bryan is Dr. Gamble. Harry and his wife's aunt were played by Lou Krugman and Gail Bonney. Tomorrow, spring cleaning. Funny show. Don't miss it. John Wall speaking. Bye.
Up, it's not one thing, it's another. Fibber McGee and Molly, March 14th, 1956, on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
Have you ever asked a naturalized American how he or she feels about the business of voting? If you have, it's probably given you a whole new slant on the matter. To those men and women who were born in other countries, the right to vote is a precious privilege, and they line up before the voting booth on Election Day with the same high sense of pride and responsibility that one might feel upon being awarded some rare degree. Actually, the right to vote should give us all the same heady thrill. It is we, you and I, who determine the course of our country and the conditions of our own lives with those votes we cast on Election Day. Just one reminder, make sure your opinions will be counted. Make sure you cast your vote by being very sure to register. Registration days differ in varying localities. Check on the time in your community and get your name on the rolls. Then take advantage of all of America's media of communication for informing yourself on the issues involved. And then when Election Day comes, go to the polls with pride and responsibility and vote.
And we thank you for making us a part of your day here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. I would ask that you please thank this radio station and support their advertisers. It is their kindness and courtesy that allows us to be here each and every time we roll around. The advertisers pay to keep the radio station on the air, and the radio station keeps us on the air. It's a good way that all works out. So please thank them both and drop a card or a letter to this station. They would really appreciate it. I would really appreciate it if you just come by and visit the webpage, classicradio.stream. There you can stream our shows on demand, learn more about classic radio collecting, and contact me, classicradio.stream. If you miss a day, you don't have to miss a show. You can either hear the shows at classicradio.stream or iHeartRadio, Spotify, Spreaker, TuneIn, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcast, or Amazon. It's totally free. Just search for Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. That's Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. It's important you include that last little bit because there are other ones out there. Accept no imitations and tell all your friends the great radio shows are right here at this spot on the dial. Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox on your favorite radio station.